Yeah, good morning friends. This is my another video to perform blood ammonia test with Arkwright's latest instrument called Pocket Chem BA. So today friends, I am going to show you how to perform a blood ammonia test with this latest blood ammonia instrument. So I'll just quickly go through the instrument. So this is the instrument. So this is the instrument from Arkwright, Japan. As you can see, it's called Pocket Chem BA. So this instrument has got a simple keypad to operate. So easy to operate and easy to carry because the instrument is very small, compact and lightweight and portable. You can see this is instrument where we can easily even carry to the patient bedside. So the basic advantage is you can take the instrument to the patient bedside and take a finger prick sample, and you can perform the results, a blood ammonia test within 3 minutes 20 seconds. So 3 minutes is a 3 minutes 20 seconds the total duration for getting the blood ammonia reports. Basically the problem with blood ammonia is that once you take out the sample, so you have to perform the tests in a very short duration. Normally if this doesn't happen, the blood ammonia values goes high, uh, outside the range, and which is not accepted. Routine biochemistry has another problem, like once they open the test strips, means a test reagent, so these reagent has to be consumed within a short duration of time. If you don't use, they get spoiled. But here there is an advantage that all the ammonia strips given along with the Pocket Chem BA is individually aluminum foil packed, and the beauty is that you need not even refrigerate these strips. They can be just at room temperature, and this comes with a expiry of 1.5 year, 18 months on hand. So the present strip, so what I'm holding is 2014-07, 2014 July, and every strip batch comes in a pack of 50, and they have particular code number, like every batch will come with a different code number. So this comes with a code number of F4. So I'll quickly go through it and I'll show you how the instrument is. This instrument is inbuilt with a thermal paper, as you can see. So this is a thermal paper, and at the back side there is a connectivity for power supply which takes only 7.5 volts. Along with the instrument there is an adapter provided which is for again 7.5 volts, as you can see, 7.5 volts. And you can see this back side is a port for connecting the adapter, and this is a paper feed button. To make sure the power supply is connected or not, just press the button. You see paper is working out, so it means it is connected. So once it is connected, the option is I'll show you how the instrument is. So it's a two-piece thing. The upper part is a printer, thermal printer, and the lower part is actually instrument. So you can have the instrument and you can carry it to patient bedside, and this holds the memory, and once you come back you can again connect to the instrument with the printer and you can take out the readings anytime. So this is the instrument. So I'll quickly go through the keypad. This is the power supply button, the blue one. The orange one is for the canceling any option, cancel button. The 0 button is for feeding the code number printed over the strip. So every time you have a different batch number of strips, so you need to feed into the code number and then perform the test. Without this you should not perform. So this is 1 for paper feed, 2 for memory, and 5 for memory scroll up and down, and then you have 6 for patient ID, and 9 for quick test report, and 8 to give clock readings, and 7 for delete. So I'll quickly go through the demonstration how to perform a test. So this is connected, and at the back side of this instrument, as you can see, this can be performed on 2 pencils also. So there's no need to look after the power supply every time. So when you're going to the patient bedside, you can carry this device, perform the results, take the reading, and come back and connect to this printer and take the printout if you want. Else the reading can be reported onto the concerned hospital or lab report pad. So along with the instrument, that is because the sample requirement is very low, So it's fixed, 20 microliter pipette is provided. You can see with the instrument. So this is a 20 microliter pipette, and along with the instrument you can also see there's a small tray given to place the uh, test strip. So this is to maintain the contact between the work area temperature, which should not transfer to the strip, because temperature plays a very important role. So this tray is provided, and we have demo strips along with the instrument, demo calibration strips. So these are permanent calibration strips, what we call it, permanent magnetic calibration strips. You can see this is for routine use. Okay, so this is the magnetic area, what you see, the white area is the magnetic area. So this has been, some fixed values are been fixed. So if the instrument reads them properly, then the instrument is working fine, or else you need to check what's going wrong. And there is another reference strip provided with the instrument. This is also again to double check the instrument calibration system. So because as the instrument doesn't have any reagent calibration thing, so this is a permanent strip with the values printed over it. So while you're putting the calibration strip and running it, you should get the range between 65 to 99 micromoles per liter. So that ensures that your instrument is perfect and working correct. And along with the instrument, there is a calibration, there is a capillaries provided for drawing the blood sample from finger pick, or if you are taking a venous sample, then this pipette can be used. The convenient method would be capillaries, or as convenient you can go with the pipette also. So these are the strips, and this is the area where you need to place the sample strip. This is area. This can be actually removed to clean this part, and you can be replaced back like this. And this is so I'll quickly go through this thing and I'll show you. So with the help of a capillary, we'll be actually performing a blood ammonia test strip. So how is the test strip actually looks like? So I'll take out one strip and I'll show you. So before feeding in the code number of the strip, you need to first press this blue button, right? If you're in between switching on the instrument, then this could happen. So once you have switched on the instrument, you can see it shows the code number, serial number as 66, the code number is F4. Now while you are performing the test strip, you need to make sure the code number is correct, F4. Now this batch has got code number F4 and expiry date is 2014 July, so it's long. So to feed in the code number, there is a fact button. I'll just show you. Yeah, the 0 button is actually to feed in the code. So I need to feed the code F4. Press 0 and then press 2 or 5 buttons until you get F4. So I'll just like to show you one more thing. The CHE is the check calibration strip, as shown you earlier, that these are the check calibration strips. So while you are performing the calibration, then you used to use this demo calibration check strips and run and see it. So this is the calibration check strips and this is the test strip. So until you get the code number F4, you have to keep on pressing F10, F9, F8, F7, F6, 5, F4. Now once you have reached the code F4, you need to confirm it by pressing the blue corner button and showing the enter button. Press it. Now it's feed. Okay, the code number has been feeded. Now what we need to make sure is that if you want to feed patient ID number, which is on the 6 button, press 6 and then press the patient ID number. Suppose patient ID number 1 2 3 4 5 and then press enter. So it is already feed serial number 66, patient ID 1 2 3 4 5. So this is how done. And now once the program has been done, now you have to make sure that you take out one of the strip which is there into this aluminum foil pack. So there is a cut slot provided at one edge. Just stare straight to this, and here you see there is a check strip. So do not touch this side of the check strip, because it has got one sample area, so that should not be touched by your hands. So hold the other edge, okay, and place it over this tray so that it's not in contact with the okay. So once this is here, you have to take the blood sample with the help of a capillary. So how do we store the blood sample? Is in cool pack. Samples has to be stored in ice cool packs like this. So you have to carry an ice cool pack for storing the sample, but make sure that this blood sample should be either EDTA sample or heparin sample. These are the only two samples to be used. Other than these two, no other samples you can use for blood ammonia, particularly for this test. Only EDTA or heparin can be used for this test. Other than this anticoagulant, any other anticoagulant should not be used. So I'll just take out the sample and we'll add up over this. So I'll show you how to add the sample with a capillary. So you have to just press so that it sucks up the exact quantity of blood sample. Once it is sucking up the exact quantity of blood sample, you have to put your finger on the top, and now I'll show you where to place this. Yeah. So while performing, make sure that you're placing the sample over this pad, and without touching the pad, sample area pad, you should drop the sample. So just leave your finger and keep on pressing this capillary till it forms a hanging drop, and once the drop is perfect, place it in the center without disturbing your hands. Right. So as you have seen, the sample has been placed. Immediately you need to press the enter button so that the countdown starts. So the countdown is for 180 seconds, which is actually 3 minutes. So soon after this 3 minutes, you need to remove the peeler, which is actually connected like this. So I'll just show you another peeler. So this is how this thing is. So there's a peeler connected to the strip. So once you peel it, you will find a below part, which is actually the reaction pad. The below pad is the reaction pad, which the color is changed. So once the color is changed, that particular color is being read by this instrument. So precaution you need to take is one thing, that while peeling off, you should peel it very fast. It's not slowly peeling, but peel it in a very fraction of second. So this peeling has to be in a very fast way. And after peeling it, you have to make sure that you reverse the strip and open the shutter of this instrument, and you have to keep up to this blue line. What you see here is blue line. So up to this blue line, you have to insert the strip, and after that you'll get the results, and that's how we actually measure. So I'll just show you the countdown is running now, 94. So 3 minutes, another 3 minutes, another, you can say 1.5 minutes more. So during this time you should never open the shutter, the outer shutter. The shutter should not be touched or open for any reason. So you cannot open at any cost. If you open, the whole timing gets disturbed and you don't get the results. So you should never open this. Until this time you have to wait. Once the timer is over, you will get a beep sound. So you will have another 20 seconds of time to peel off the sticker and keep into the instrument. So if you are not able to do in those 20 seconds, so another you have option is you can go to this 9 button which is on the right corner and press 9 and then press enter, and after inserting your strip press 9 and enter. Immediately the instrument reads. Even after that time you can perform the test, you can get the results. So this is how we actually do the blood ammonia test. So the normal range, in the meantime I'll just show you another 10 seconds to go. So normal range is less than 54. So only 2 seconds. So counter, I'm peeling it off and reverse the chamber. I'm reversing and keeping it till this blue mark and closing the shutter. So you have seen I have closed the shutter till this blue mark. So the value is 86. Little bit on higher end because the blood sample what we have taken is actually, this was taken in the morning and now I am performing this test. It's a late night, so by the time, because samples for blood ammonia should not be stored for a long time because they produce the results, as you know. So this was a demonstration, as you have seen, how we perform blood ammonia test with Pocket Chem BA from Arcray, Japan. Hope you find interesting. For any feedbacks, please do revert back with your mail or queries for me. Thank you.